Hey, what's up, guys? Okay, welcome to Quantum Graphics, and we're going to do another tutorial. This is actually part two of something that we started. Our first was actually drawing this little pumpkin out of. We used a circle and a square and modified the original shapes and showed you some tricks of copy, cut, and paste. We've got that group, so we're going to go ahead and drag that right off of the stage here. And we have the little squiggly line. And that's the only shape that we hadn't actually used in the other tutorial. We're going to take this, we're going to make it into a nice vine, something that goes around and kind of frames the pumpkin. Um, so we've got the squiggly line, and I'm going to move that aside too and show you how we kind of make it. It's really probably the most complicated part of this entire process is doing the little line. But we're going to do the polyline tool, and we're going to start by creating a little curlicue. Just kind of zoom around and come up the end and make a little curl. And click, press enter, and there you go. That's the basic line that we've got over here. And the rest of it is just kind of nudging and playing with it and getting it to where you want it to be. If you come up here right below the pick tool, there's the shape tool. And the thing that you want to remember when dealing with these, if you're dealing with curves, you kind of want your node to be positioned at the very outside apex of the curve. So one of the easy ways to do that is just take the shape tool and double click, and it'll place a new node. When you do that, take the other one out. And if you just go around and do that right at the very ends and take the existing out, it will help straighten out the curves a little bit and make them flow a little freer. And this one's, I think, close enough that we're not going to mess with it. We're going to make sure we have one over here, and then we're going to snap this one out. And then over here, the same thing. And I'm going to take these two out. And I'm going to kind of leave this alone for now. Now, if we select all the nodes by just left mouse clicking, holding down, dragging a box over everything, we're going to set them all to make nodes symmetrical. And that, again, helps to put it together. And at that point, you're just going to go around, you're going to drag, and, well, you have to click off and then select an individual node. You go around and drag and close these down. Just kind of get it where you want it. And that's an exercise that takes a little bit of time and some trial and error. Since we've already got one that's pretty close to the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Drag mine back onto the screen. We're pretty close, and remember from the last tutorial, if you select an object and just push the letter P, where that came from, but okay, and just press the letter P, it'll push it right in the center of the page. Okay, now that we've got that, we're going to use our artistic media tool. It's the third one over in the flyout. Go and click on that. And all that does is bring the dialog up. But a better way to do this, I'm going to go ahead and close or just minimize this and show you that if you go into Window, Dockers, and come down and make sure the artistic media flyout is checked. If it's not checked, check it, and it'll show up over here on your sidebar. I've already got the strokes selected, but there are just a variable number of strokes and brushes you can use here. The first one I'm going to try is a rounded stroke. That's about where I want to go, but if it wasn't, if you come up to the menu, once this is selected and you come up to your menu bar, you'll see that you can set the distance of the stroke. We're going to set this back up to about 60, I think. It's probably, well, 50. Let's make it 53. It's close enough. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at the stem on your pumpkin and see about the size that you think it would have been. Okay, that's pretty close. Okay, so we've got the pumpkin and we've got a nice stem and it's got an outline around it. Now, one of the things we can do is if you put the point of your mouse exactly on a line and then right click, the little pop-up menu will come up and you want to break the artistic media group apart. When you do that, it's going to give you back your original line, which you can click on and drag off. And there's a reason we're doing that right now. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, now, as far as fills, you can get really fancy with the fills, and you can do something like a lighter green on the inside, and you by hovering over the palette, the color that you're looking for, and doing a left click, that's going to give you the fill. If you go up to the darker green and do a right click, that's going to give you the line color. And then you're going to have to go up to your menu and choose a higher point size so that it's more visible. Let's say like a 4-point or even an 8-point on this would give you that kind of, gradient type of contrast where it would look brighter where it's closer to you and as it wraps around a little bit darker. But there's kind of a reason I'm going to stay away from that right now. And I'm just going to go without an outline at all. Go to none, and I'm going to color the entire line green. I think it kind of fits a little better with the drawing that we're about to do. So there we've got a vine and a squiggly line still up top, and the pumpkin sitting over here. So the next step is I thought we would put some leaves on the pumpkin. There's a bunch of ways that you can draw leaves. You can take a circle and you can convert it to curves by right clicking, convert to curves. You come back to your shape tool. You can select one node, come up here and make the node a cusp, and then you could just kind of drag and deform the circle, maybe delete a couple of the nodes. And that gives you a relatively nice leaf as well. But there's a little bit more fun way that I found to do it with, especially when you're doing something like this where you've got the little loops. In the loop, we have a tool called the Smart Fill tool. If you click on the Smart Fill tool and point into the loops, it fills the space in between. So now that we've got all those there, if we click on the line, after I select the pick tool again, click on the line, drag the line away, and select all 4 of the fills, fill those in with a dark green. Just kind of grow them a little bit. We've got 4 leaves, and the leaves are actually orientated in different directions. So if we want to put a leaf, let's say down here starting on our vine, drag it down, place it about where we think it'll go, and if you use the right mouse button while still holding the left, click with the right and let go of both. Apparently I didn't do that right, so we're going to do it again. Bring it down, right click, it leaves the original there and brings one down and puts a copy in its place. I think the next one we're going to look for is a leaf that would probably point in the opposite direction. So what I'll do is take the same leaf, and we're going to hover over the middle node on this side. We're going to click with our left mouse button, drag it to the right, press down Control, it will constrain it to the same size, and now we're going to push the right mouse button. We've just created a copy in the opposite direction. That I can put down here at the very bottom. And if it's a little big and it's starting to encroach, I can shrink it down a little bit. Same with this. If this is a little large, I can bring it down just a tad. Now we're looking for some more leaves that we could put or make use of here. I think we could probably get away with something right here like this. Go ahead and right click on that, get ourselves a leaf. And if we want to put something down on the bottom that points the other way, same thing. We're going to hover the middle node, press down with our left mouse button, push Control, it will constrain. Click with the right mouse button, we've created a copy, and that we can put anywhere down here where we think it's going to look okay. this problem.